educators on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'm a step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. They fell down my stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead president and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Patience thinner than a penny hoe.
Rub your empty your pockets. I don't do that. You're my prisoner. You do what I tell you. Get over here. He's gonna get this.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Can you hear me now? 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 Mama watching television, telling me avoid the system. Hoping I ain't lose religion, texting prayer hands, hope the message sending on. Know I've been blessed, I've been seeing prophets, mostly yellow shirts, louder than the broccoli, dancing in my chucks, feeling out of body, say the man got me on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Straight ahead, it's a rematch from last year's frozen NFC wildcard game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now it's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And that is incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Bridgewater now on second down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Bridgewater now. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
A give. This is Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now the rookie first-rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. So the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try to run for it with Penny. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Penny will try to punch it in, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Jason Myers now for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And they've got it here with a 1st down. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd and short.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Hey, we talked about Adam Thielen a little bit last year, didn't we? Possession receiver, makes some tough catches, gets it done, and he's a homeboy. Grew up very close to the Twin Cities. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. The former first-rounder Barkevious Mingo, and it'll be a 2nd and long. And on that one, the protection just broke down. You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football. Here's Bridgewater. And the throw here, that's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw, Bridgewater. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. It's the fullback, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Bailey now to kick this one away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Wilson to throw on 2nd down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well. Here's Carson. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Wilson looking to throw on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
1st down, Bridgewater. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Bridgewater on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on it, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Wilson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Again, Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we hit halftime with... And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try to hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 31 yards there and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. His throw incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Bridgewater to throw it. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. Oh, now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
2nd down, Bridgewater. Breaks through the contact. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was the prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
Bailey now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it again with Penning. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The pitch goes to Penny. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. This quarterback now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Cook. He spins free. Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Bailey now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offensive coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They go read option with Wilson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the 1st down.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up 1st downs.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll go again with McKissick. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently, so that's just going to be an incompletion. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing, Bridgewater. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now Bridgewater. Open man here is Conklin. And he'll get it down here to the 43. First target, first catch, and a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced...
And the pressure gets to him again.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Here's Matt Weil now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully with a chance to win.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Here's Wilson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Baldwin. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing again here, Wilson. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They start the drive with Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
Bridgewater. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing here, Bridgewater. Going deep for Diggs. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. One last shot for Wilson. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But These two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving at rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, ran off on the two like True Goy, imagine you could